With the release of 0.12, we've seen the hideout being added, and a lot of you have been asking since day one, how do you make money from the hideout and which upgrades are worth it? So in this guide, I'm going to break down what I think is important, all the different trades and barters that you can do within the hideout that I think are the most valuable, and we're going to explain why. So before we jump into the hideout, I want to explain a few things, and that's the fact that a lot of these items that I'm about to talk about will fluctuate in value all the time, at every single occasion, every single day. So if you really want to keep up to date on all of the min-max and what's worth value, all you need to do is go and find these items and right-click filter by item, and then figure out for yourself what these things are worth. Some of the items at the moment are ridiculously inflated and others are down in good value. So really it's up to you guys to go through, find out what all these items are worth and figure out what trades are worth it at the time of watching. Because I'm going to tell you right now, but you never know, within the next month, some of these items may half or they may triple in value. The first place we're going to jump into the hideout is the Workbench. And if you guys aren't already aware, the Workbench is the #1 place to make money. Not only does it allow you to mod your gun and bring up the mod menu that you guys know and love when you're looking at guns, and also allows you to use presets, the Workbench is the best way to make expensive ammos and make a profit from them. In the link down below, I've got a screenshot of all the trades I reckon make you the most profit, with the math behind them of how much markup you can make. But a quick reference for you guys to understand is this trade here for 9mm rip, the M67 RGD for the green gunpowder or the Eagle gunpowder is a great trade. As we make our way down, we're going to have a quick look at the 995 trade, so 1 green gunpowder and 1 OFZ shell. With 995 being about 1400 rubles a bullet, this is a good trade. You can actually make about 30 to 40,000. As we scroll further down, we're going to be met with another trade, and this is actually one of my favorites. And now this is a military power filter and 1 red gunpowder or Hawk gunpowder for 80 rounds of 7 and 12 BP. Now this is brilliant because BP is about 1500 rubles a bullet on the market, which is ridiculous. Another awesome trade as we move our way down is we got 3 red gunpowder or Hawk and a radiator helix for 130 rounds of M61. So as we scroll further down, the next one we'll be looking at is 7.62 BP for green gunpowder or Eagle. This is brilliant as well. As we make our way further down, a lot of these aren't really great value anymore. Some of these are really good in the early game, as you can say, like, you know, when you need printed circuit boards or you need power cords found in Raid. A lot of these are helping you get your tasks done. But when it comes to making money, they're not as good as you would think they are. Right next to the Workbench is the Lavatory, or the toilet, or the little bucket, depends on how POV you are. But the truth is, a lot of these trades started off really good, but they've kind of gone sour after a couple days. And with the market being so weird, they've actually crashed incredibly. Now this trade here for a silicon tube, wires, and insulating tape for corrugated hose doesn't actually run you as big as a profit as it used to, but there is a small amount of markup that you can make every time you do this. The difference is, this exact trade, although it varied slightly different in the requirements, was crazy when corrugated hose was pressing on to 200k within the first month of wipe. So I need you guys to understand, a lot of these trades, you may be looking at them now, aren't so good. Early game, these were making me a stupid amount of money. And another example is the one above it here. We've got the Expedition fuel tank, or 2 of them, metal cutting scissors, 3 bolts, and 3 screws for a mag case. Once upon a time, it was 1 Expedition fuel tank and 1 pair of metal cutting scissors for a mag case, and that was awesome. But for some stupid reason, they keep adding more and more to this trade, and it's got to the point where Expedition fuel tanks are now so ridiculously inflated, up to 90k in this current state, which is the 24th of the 2nd, 2020. 90k each. The Lavatory, unfortunately, at this stage in the game, can't really make you a lot of money. There are some small trades like a GP5 gas mask to a air filter for a gas mask. You can make about 4,000 ruble markup. The next place we're going to be looking at is the Bitcoin farm. Now, the Bitcoin farm is actually quite insane, and a lot of people don't seem to understand it. But the first thing I'm going to teach you guys is also, how much do you need to spend to get the Bitcoin farm? And is it worth it with the price of Bitcoin? As you can see, I left this overnight and woke up to 3 Bitcoin. Hell yeah. But with the max Bitcoin farm, it takes 5 hours to produce a Bitcoin. Now I'm going to show you guys some stats here. I actually worked out the average and how much it's going to cost you guys to make the Bitcoin farm, and also if it's worth it entirely. And the first thing we're going to see is all the requirements you need, and this will be in the link down below. But as of the current date, I actually worked out all the things that you need, including Intel Center 2 and generator level 3, and so your total investment works out to be 28 mil, including graphics cards, to get this thing up and running, producing Bitcoin one every 5 hours. I think for me, one of my favorite parts was finding each graphics card from maps like Reserve, Shoreline, and Interchange are the best places to find them, and it gave me an objective to go in there and look for them. With the ridiculous price of, I think, about 340k or 350k per graphics card, sometimes it's probably best to just go in there and find them yourself, and it gives you a nice little endgame objective. But it is 100% worth it when you get it up and running, and especially if you're a regular Tarkov player, you can pay it off in 29 days. The next one we're going to be looking at is the Scav case. Now, Scav case is gambling, because you gotta know when to hold them. But the truth is, guys, this is essentially just gambling. This isn't always going to make you money, but it is a fun thing that you can do in the late game. Now, to make the Scav case cost a lot of things, and I'm going to put what it costs just above me right here so you guys can see what you need to invest into it. Now, you got all these different options here, and I've done a few videos covering them. The link to those will be in the description, where I talk about Moonshine, and I also talk about folder with intelligence options and whether they're worth it or not. But I do Moonshine all the time because Moonshine to me is something that I produce in the Hideout. So I want you guys to know that Moonshine is currently about 230 to 240k. However, if you're making the sugar in your Hideout and at the same time you are producing your water and your Moonshine yourself, it actually is a great markup and is incredibly good because it allows me to do these off reset every 4 hours and 40 minutes. That moves us to the next part of this video, which is going to be the water collector. Now, as you can see, I just collected purified water here, and my next one's going to come in 5 hours and 28 minutes. Now, you basically average about 2.25 purified waters per water filter, and the reason that this is really important is because purified water at the moment per bottle is 130k, whereas the filter that you put inside them is only about 90k, I think, at this current stage in the game. Almost the potential to triple our profit. This is really good. Unfortunately, these are inflated because I think about 1 week ago, they were about 60 to 50k. Not only does it allow you to make money, but at the same time, it allows you to regen 36 water points per hour. So this is pretty awesome because it means when you're in your hideout or you're doing a scav run, you may not have to drink as much water like Aquamari, and you can actually save money in that way as well. And that brings us to the next part, which is the booze generator or creating moonshine. Now, so you got your purified water and you've got your 2 sugar to create your moonshine. And I'm going to get that moonshine. I'm going to feed it straight into the scav case. You can see I've built myself a little cycle of efficiency here. So I never have to deal with flea market listing. And at the same time, I'm pulling some items and essentially gambling almost for free. Now we're going to send it out for 3 hours and 3 minutes with 2 sugar, which are currently, I think at this stage in the game, about 58k. Now these are super inflated at the moment, again, like I was saying, but 2 sugar and 1 purified water equals a moonshine every 3 hours and 3 minutes. Now this is good for money because you can actually make about 30 to 40k each time, or like I said, feed it straight into your case. Now as for the sugar, directly opposite the boost generator, we have the nutrition unit. The nutrition unit's not super great, especially in the early game if you're trying to make some food and water to survive. There are some good things you can do in here, especially when sugar's not so inflated and condensed milk is actually worth a lot more, with the price of Kiwi being much higher. But as we work our way further into the late game, the only trade that starts to become worth it here is the 2 Alyonka chocolate bars for sugar. Because Alyonka chocolate at the moment is about 24k. So that means if I was to buy 2 of these for 24k or under, I can get these for about 48k for a pack of sugar, which is actually a really good deal, with sugar being higher than that, almost at 60k at the moment. So you can see you make a small amount of markup there. So we're into the last part of this video, which is the med station, and the med station isn't the greatest place for money. A lot of these trades here, like if you're getting your hands on the analgen painkillers, the bandage and the splint here for the Saliwa, if you're doing this off reset, is really good because Saliwas are my favorite med item in the game. Now this is how I produce my own Saliwas, so this is a really efficient way to do it. All of the others don't actually run you a profit. The price of 5 meds for 1 grizzly is not indeed worth it. There is the golden star with 2 meds Ibu for Propitol. This one is only good if you're doing the Jaeger quest where you need tremors Hey guys, so that's it for this video. If this helped you in any single way, learn anything about the Hideout or how to make money while you're away from the computer, you know what to do. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. It helps me out so much. And as always, I stream 6 days a week on Twitch. The link to that will be in the description down below. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.